Hello there, this is me, Dorikaiser93, and this is a Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live Episode 7 review. Now, basically, this episode centered around something going on inside Prism Stone, and then we see, it's more also centered around An, because An does have a dance at the end of the episode, and her My Song, but let's get straight into the review. So, basically, the episode starts off with Sato, and she tells An, Naru, and Ito that the school has approved of them for being special employees in Prismstone, because that's what they were going for. They were going for their work experience, and it ended up working out. So they're working there. I don't know if it's full time or part time. They didn't really say, but they're working there, and basically, Sato also says, with that, we want to also let your parents know as well what's going on with the store and such, so we're going to invite them in. And Naru's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I would like that to happen. An says that she can't because her parents can't because they'll be working with the store, and Ito says that her parents are they're not into that type of thing. So basically the episode consists of that. We do see little portions of what happens. An goes home. She's really trying to keep it on the down low and everything about the Prism Stone inviting parents and such in the fashion show, and An's gonna also have her My Song debut on that day. So happens throughout the episode. An tries to keep it from her father, not tell her father about it. Her mother knows, but her father is, again, you remember, I believe it was in episode 2, where he was against the idea of her working at Prismstone. He wanted her to work at the shop and become the owner of the shop one day. On Ito's side, Ito's father doesn't really. He asks her about things, and I think it's about her mother. I'm not sure. I'm sorry about that. But we do see Ito's side as well, interactions with her father and such. Now, the real clincher of the whole entire episode comes in when Naru goes over to each other parents' houses, because still Ito and An still can't convince their parents. So Naru goes over to An's store, and An's father's like, who are you? She's like, Ayase Naru, and I work at the same store as her. Of course, An's father doesn't know about the store, so he's like, store? And then Naru's like, oh yeah, here's a I want you're invited to come to this since you're her parents, and since you're one of her parents, and you get to also see your daughter dance and such. Of course, the father is not happy about this. But then what happens is then it switches over to Ito's father, and basically she hands it to him. They have a little conversation. Now, when An gets home, of course, there's a fight. They start yelling at each other. The mother tells him to calm down, but then the father says, you know what, if you want to go do that, just leave. And she's like, all right, I'll leave, and she leaves. So the night of what happens is An then asks Naru, that An goes over with Naru and Rine to Naru's house, and basically they have a sleepover, and they're thinking about designs for the next day, since An's gonna have her My Song debut, and they're also gonna have like a Prism Stone fashion show. So the next day comes. Actually, before that, we see Naru and An contemplating about An's design for her debut, because they've already went over like Naru's design and Ito's design and An's design for the fashion show, the designs for the fashion show, but they couldn't get. They were thinking about what's going to happen with An's outfit for her My Song. So what happens is they're thinking about it, but then Rine puts 2 cookies, like one on the left side, one on the right side, on the dress design, and they're like, oh yeah, that's it. So what happens the next day is before the fashion show, we see inside Ann's house or Ann's store, and basically the mother tells her mother tells her father that, yeah, I'm gonna be going, that it's, I guess you don't have to, that's fine, and she walks out. So what happens is then we see we see Prismstone, we see the inside, and they have their fashion show. Again, I believe they had something like this in Dear My Future. I forget what episode it is, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was Pretty Top versus, what is it? Pretty Top or Prismstone versus Dear Crown. And basically had a little fashion show like that. But this one was just Prismstone, and they were showing off. They showed off, I believe it was 5 designs. Not sure. I think it was 2 for Naru, 2 for Ito, then 1 for An, because An then had another design which was featured in the My Song debut. Now, after all that, then An goes out and performs her. She performs her My Song. I did like this song in general, and the dance, because in the other songs, Ito's didn't really mention her name, I don't believe. Naru did mention her name and like her little catchphrase, "Happy Naru," so happy as it's translated. And for An, she didn't say her name in her song, but she talked about food and such and how it's like strawberry syrup. So I also like that about the episode. I don't know. Again, it's the same jumps, the same Prism Live, and the same jump inside the Prism Live, which, again, it is only early in the series, so we can only expect even more jumps and such, but just don't get discouraged if you see, like, the same jump 3 or 4 times in the total of 12 episodes, just because they're probably thinking of even more better things to throw out there. So, after the dance, during and after the dance, we see An's father. He snuck in from the back and just sort of looked at her from the side of the stage. And then, once the dance ends, what happens is he tries to walk out, unnoticed. But then An notices, because he falls over, that it's her father. And she's like, oh yeah, you accepted me being a Prism star and such. But, what happens is he walks out still. But I guess what happens is they reconcile at the end, because they talk with the parents and such. They didn't show what they talked about, but I guess they were all on terms and such, and I guess everything was fine, and that finally everyone's had a debut. Naru says everyone's had a debut, and that Prismstone's getting raring. It's already raring and already on the roll. So, again, that was a good episode. I might have missed some things, like the little inside with Naru's parents inside of Prismstone when they went in, and An's mother before the Prism show, but I didn't feel it was too relevant to the. I guess it was relevant to the episode because we saw interaction between An and Naru's parents, but I don't know how long they're going to be involved in the series, because if you do remember, there is some interaction between Aya's parents in Aurora Dream, but besides that, there isn't really any much in Dear My Future, or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. But again, good episode. Can't wait for next week, and I will explain that on preview reviews. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode. Thank you very much for watching this review, and I will see you guys later.